What's up, everyone? Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. While we also enjoy a little bit of volatility on the chart, yo. Good to have you guys here. Just to make sure that we don't see people walking left and right behind me. Let me just close the door in a second. Put the music down a bit. What's up, everyone? Wow, what a timing, eh? What we like to see. Volatility on the chart. Now, in 10 minutes, there is some high impact news, so make sure you trade safe around that hour, which of course includes the 15 minutes before and after and whatnot. 30 minutes before, hour after, whatever. But yeah, we definitely have some price action. Now, the reason I have a channel on my chart here is just to check for the potential of an impulse down compared to an ABC, right? Impulse being a 5-3 and then up, continuation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1, 2, you want to break out of the channel. 3, 4 comes back to the channel, and then 5. And if we're looking for a zigzag, we look for an ABC, preferably CN somewhere at the lower end of this channel, and then you move back up. So just checking this. But yo, what's up? We're back from Italy, Monza. If you have kept an eye on my Instagram in the past couple of days, you've seen some snippets of my life, obviously, because of me posting very actively on Instagram story. I will make a normal Instagram post as well, but yeah, I've been uploading the stories throughout the weekend and yesterday, so hopefully you enjoyed seeing a little bit of behind the curtain lifestyle stuff, right? Because I don't really tend to talk about it much on stream. I only say I go there and I go there, but now you actually kind of like see stuff, right? So Jeroen, Odin, Marcin, welcome. Good to have you guys here. Aaron, welcome. Yoshi, Ali, yo. What's up? Also immediately coming in and joining the gold squad. Top step of the podium. The step of Charles Leclerc last weekend. But Ali, thanks for joining. Make sure to fill in the form again, and we'll get you sorted, right? So just for the administration, it's good to fill in the form. Just select gold this time. We'll get you sorted in the group. So welcome, Ali. Good to have you here, man. Good to have you here. Leva, how you doing? How is Simba doing? Mohip, I'm doing good. What a race. Yeah, I'll talk about it in a second, how we experienced it and what we did. But it was good, eh? It was good. I mean, look, if you do pick a race or if you do pick a Monza Grand Prix, then better pick one where Ferrari wins, no? Yo, what an atmosphere. Jay, welcome. Fozzie, Major Nardi, good to have you here. Par, Sam, what's up, man? In the car again, listening. I see you're driving around. Welcome, Sam. Thanks for joining while driving as well. Martin, Michael, by the way, in the car, listening. The question then is, of course, are you the driver or somewhere in the back of the car because you're typing? Martin, Michael, Afshin, welcome. Hope you had a wonderful trip. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll talk about it in a second. Andrew Seriga, Average Kiddo. What's up, everyone? RJ69, good morning from Florida. US is waking up. Or I mean, waking up. Arguably, it's, you know, it's solid morning there. I've sent you an email whenever you get time. Can you have a look? Yes, I will. Of course, I was gone for a few days, so I actually didn't check my email today. First of all, the sister of my wife is still here. So I was with them this morning, and this afternoon I've been changing my personal address, because apparently some post arrived to my old address, and then I checked, and I've been busy changing my address everywhere, or at least checking if I did, yes or no. So yeah, but Karen K, good evening from Asia. I bet that is The excitement made you press the M instead of the A. Karen K, welcome, man. Good to have you here. Welcome. Good morning from Argentina. Carlos, welcome from a country that loves football, loves Messi. The world champions of the World Cup, when was it? A few years ago, beating the Netherlands, my country. Ooh. Yeah, thanks, Jay. Cheers. It's nice. Sam, exactly. Rudy, back in Antwerp, home sweet home. Nevertheless, tears me apart every time I have to leave Thailand, the land of smiles. Yeah, it's a land of relaxation, rituals, chilling. Fam, what's up? How you doing? Red light typing. I see. Red light typing and then getting the hoots from behind. I pay attention. It's great. Okay, so what we're going to do in this live stream, I'll shortly explain what happened the last 3 days, but then we get into the Elliott Wave Analysis. I will stick around on the higher time frames. 4 hour is the lowest I like to go. I do have thoughts of what I am looking for here. So that is, of course, stuff that I will share in the content as well, which, of course, includes CVD. As always, I kind of mentioned it this morning already, and nothing changed from that perspective. We had a little bit of bullish CVDs, but these already played out. 5-minute bearish CVDs before the drop, and now we simply have the drop. And, of course, I shortly explained why I have this channel on my chart as well, which has to do with the chance of looking for an ABC or potentially an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to lower prices. So it's interesting to keep an eye on it. Now, I'll talk about this later in more detail. We, of course, now hit the daily naked point of control that we had below us. So far, we moved through it. So we'll see if anything happens around this particular level. And yeah, let's start analyzing. So the context of what I look for locally becomes clear as well. But starting with what I did the past few days, right? So give me a minute. So everyone is aligned. What's up, Contrarian? So on Friday, actually Thursday night, family arrived from my wife from South Africa. And then on Friday, we hang out together. We went to Monaco, had dinner there, la-di-la-di-la. And then let me tell you guys, we had a party in Monaco. We had dinner at Amazonico, which is next to Casino Square. And, and after, we went to the Buddha bar, which is walking distance. And oh boy, were we in the Buddha bar. We were there till... When did it close? We were there till closing time. I don't know if it was 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., but I think it was like 3 a.m., I think. Party in Buddha bar till like 3 a.m. in the morning. Of course, my ass doesn't drink alcohol, so I'm sober, you know, and I'm the driver. I'm always the driver because I never really drink alcohol. So, but it was a great party. Now the others, wifey, sister, and the guy that was with us as well. My wife never drinks much, but let's just say it was quite a party. And then on Saturday, we actually wanted to go to Formula One quali, but obviously we didn't make it because we went to bed so late. So that meant that we had a very chill morning. And later in the afternoon, we decided to drive to Milan and then eat there and then go to the race on Sunday, which we did. So we went to the Grand Prix on Sunday and Charles Leclerc won. Very, very nice. And then on Monday, a little bit of walking around and doing some stuff in Milan. And then eventually I drove back. So, and now we're here again. So that is what happened. I was at the Grand Prix of Monza. And yeah, that was the first time I attended the Grand Prix. 5 years ago, a Ferrari won. This year, a Ferrari won. So, I mean, beautiful timing. That being said, now we're back with the analysis as well. So let's get this started. Gonna summarize what was analyzed in the morning update as well, the previous update. And then we can go over some local price action and local volatility. We have some news here for PM, Central European time, which is now, literally like now. So let's actually have a look on the 5-minute like low time frame here. And yeah, I mean, we'll get to this. We'll be on the low time frame very, very soon. So let's just stick on the weekly first, shortly cover these folders, and then look at the lower time frames to see what's up. Thanks, maybe a band-aid. Oh, it's 15 minutes for you guys. Up, I mean, it's 16 and a half. Yeah, it's around this time, so that's good. That's good. Thanks, maybe a band-aid. So let's start with the analysis and then observe local price action. Again, this is a summary of the video this morning, which by itself is already short, but I want to keep it short, right? So weekly time frame remains the higher probability scenario, looking for 4 and 5. Wave 4 tends to be a long sideways range, tends to be complex, right? That's everything that we are looking for, and that's also what we're seeing. Target area for 4 is hit, but as you can see, it's quite a big one. 57.1, 42.8, invalidation 37.7. As simple as that, of course. After 4, we look for 5. This is your target for 5, 81.3 to 129K. Now your most bullish scenario, and this is most of the time this morning was spent actually analyzing this particular daily and the 4-hour time frame of this scenario. So on the daily, an ABC is of course most bullish. Finished 3-wave corrective structure. This is your 4 and up you go for your 5. But that means you need an impulse diagonal or a multi 1-2 here. And for an impulse, you need a wave 1, 2, and then continuation up in a wave 3. Now it's not like invalidated to have an impulse like this, but it's incredibly unlikely, and that has to do with this scenario. So this is then your 1 in blue, 3-wave, 2, and then you want to move up, right? This low here has been made before the 6 and the 7 vertical lines, the fib times. Now a fib time taken from the start to the end of 1. Now what does a fib time do? If I take it from the start to the end of 1, it compares wave 1 in time, so this compared to this. And what you want to see is a wave 2 end, preferably between the 382 and 2-3 fib time, but not a 6-7. It really lowers probabilities for a flat structure here in an ABC. And if this is an ABC, preferably your C. So this is a flat, by the way, a 3-wave A, 3-wave B, 5-wave C, right? If this is a flat, you want your low to be in. Preferably C finished. Potentially you can say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more maybe, okay, to take the low of A, but that would be a higher probability. This is currently a running flat. C did not take the low of A, which is incredibly rare. Expanding flat and regular flats take the low of A, so that is what you want to see. But still, if you now move down and take the low of your A, it's going to be 7 fib time, maybe even 8 fib time, meaning it's 7 times. Wave 2 is 7 times longer than your wave 1. Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. So yeah, not great probabilities for this, right? So then you have to think, okay, how about a diagonal? Of course, and I know, but on purpose I did not cover this. Of course, there is still this diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it makes absolutely no sense to talk about this diagonal. I got a comment about it this morning. And it's true, you still have this diagonal. The reason it doesn't make sense is because you have not even finished a wave 2. And a diagonal is only relevant once a wave 4 is finished. That is when we really start to look at, okay, this might be a potential diagonal, right? Before a wave 4 is in, there's other scenarios that have much higher probabilities than a diagonal. So therefore, counting this as 1 and then look for 2 and then 3, 4, 5 in a big diagonal. Mind you, that is a very big diagonal. doesn't make sense till 4 is in. So in other words, what I would like to see is price to move down, price to move up, and then price to move down, have overlap, and that's when we start talking about a diagonal. But at the moment, for a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That would make more sense from a like diagonal perspective. You're working on your 4, but the problem for your wave 4 is that your wave 4 here is longer than your wave 2, and that invalidates a contracting diagonal, meaning the trend lines. Oops, that would be a triangle. Meaning the trend lines do this; they are contracting to one another, converging to one another, and it is an expanding diagonal, right? Well, therefore, the probabilities go down significantly because it's very rare. So an impulse, low probabilities. Diagonal, low probabilities, leaving us with a multi 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 up, right? That's your most bullish count, actually. The problem is that your second wave 2 here hit the 886, and the 886 is very rare for a wave 2, right? Higher probabilities to then later take the low, or for corrective structures, not impulsive structures. So by all means, this being a wave 2 has low probabilities as well, meaning an impulse is low, diagonal is low, and a multi 1, 2 is low probabilities, which therefore automatically means that on a daily time frame, this has low probabilities, right? So this is how the local price section can give us a better idea of the probabilities on the higher time frame, which is interesting. I find it very fascinating. I love Elliott waves. So analyzing local time frames gives us the probabilities on one higher time frame as well. So just the multi 1, 2 in a little bit of detail. I already said lower probabilities because we touched the 886, right? But here you have it like in front of you. 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Your double 1, 2. Besides the fact, it's of course weird or difficult to count this as a nice impulse, and this is a nice impulse. Impulse being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. Looks 3 wavy, looks 3 wavy as well. But not even looking, like ignoring that, right? Just looking at your 2 here, you hit the 886, and as mentioned, very rare. Also, if we only look at this blue 2, then you can see that we need, of course, 2 needs to be a 3-wave structure, right? So it needs to be an ABC or a WXY. But in both cases, your wave C or your wave Y did not even hit the 0.618 trend-based fib extension taken from the start to the end of W or A to the end of B or X, which would be a minimum target for both of these. So yeah, lowers the probabilities now. So for the bulls, and this is literally what the thumbnail and the title says as well, the bulls are running out of options, because when we think about bullish scenarios, we got to keep in mind the triangle here, which is also just like that bigger diagonal, right? So keep in mind the bigger diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As mentioned, it's too early to talk about this diagonal. You're not even having a finished 2, right? And you want to wait for a finished 4 before really starting to talk about it, right? So it's not really an option yet. And then you have the triangle, which at least we're working on this triangle. We're working on the C, so we're one step ahead of the diagonal. But even for a triangle, it's still relatively early, as preferably we wait for a wave D, or at least we wait for the second leg up in a wave D. And currently we would be working on a wave C. So what you're looking for here is a WXY. It's a sideways complex structure. Now a WXY works very well in a higher degree, higher time frame wave 4 on the weekly, right? Common target for your wave Y is hit. Preferably, of course, in the bullish scenarios, your low would be in. Even in this particular case with the triangle, right? The low here is then your A, and you look for your B, and then C, and then D, and then E, and then up, right? And you continue towards the upside after a range, which is, I mean, likely gonna endure, like take the whole of September to play out. Won't be surprised to see that happen. But in this case, we then look for a C, we still need a D, we still need a E, and then we need to move towards the upside. So it make like, what's easy about this scenario is that if price is going to continue ranging sideways, right, we are prepared and we know what to look for. You want to see bullish CVDs here and bullish CVDs here as well. And then locally, once you start building 1-2s, some more. That's what we are looking for. But it's still quite early for the triangle as well. Now, wave C has to be a 3-wave structure. So we want to see an A, B, C. Price hitting support. There's 2 areas to the downside and then move up. Now, the areas I talk about, support here, the 2 blue boxes, 55.2, 54.6. And then I have 52.3, 53K. To the upside, you can see the dotted line actually, went a little higher, but we do have some resistance here. 61.4, 62.1, and then 63.6, 64.2. Taking the low, wait, I need to move this invalidation up. Taking the low at 49 is your invalidation. Taking the high of B is also an invalidation. All right, so for the bulls, right, running out of options, pretty much a impulse here, 1, 2, 3, low probabilities due to time. You have a diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is expanding, low probabilities, never preferred unless everything else fails. Multi 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 continuation. Wave 2 hit the 886 here, very low probabilities. Bigger diagonal to the upside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Currently low probabilities, way too early. And then we have the triangle over here, A, B, C, D, E, and then move up. Medium. For the bulls, this is currently your number one, arguably, compared to the others. If you do take out this high with the next leg up, okay, we might be looking for the diagonal, but yeah. So yeah, definitely running out of options. And of course, with each option for the bulls that has lower probabilities and low probabilities and low probabilities, at the same time, you have the balance also switching and probability switching to, okay, but we do also have the bearish options, right? Where you actually do take 49K, which is definitely still on the cards as well, right? So yeah, the bulls need to definitely hold 55/52, looking for that triangle or a even bigger diagonal. Bigger diagonal is just not yet relevant. Triangle would be more relevant at the moment. And other than that, you simply have the bearish scenarios, which in all cases you take the low. So so that's just quite simply your bullish invalidation, and yeah, you don't need a detailed bearish scenario because your target is going to be take that low. So okay, on a weekly time frame, bearish scenario. Looking for a bigger 3-waver. Now you always need a bullish and a bearish scenario on every time frame, right? So this is on the weekly, where you simply move down low 40s, low 30s easily. On a linear chart, 43.2K here would be a target. However, because of the move to the upside being like 300%, log chart is preferred, and then your target is 30.4K, fib taken, trend-based fib from the start to the end of W to the end of X. And the probabilities for a wave 4 to really decrease on a weekly and start increasing for Y are of course related to the daily as well. So first of all, take out 49K, right? And every time, there you go, right? So on the 4-hour time frame, the bullish scenarios are running out, right? The options are running out for the bulls. But that means that on the daily, you're looking for a WXY at the moment, not a finished ABC, right? It's lower probabilities for the finished ABC compared to a WXY. Now I mentioned, wait, did I cut that out of the video this morning? I think I did, because I thought it was getting too long. But if you look at a sideways WXY, right? WX, and if wave Y is a triangle, wave Y can be 3 structures. Can be a zigzag, can be a flat, and can be a triangle. Most common is a zigzag and a flat. The least common for a wave Y and a WXY is a triangle. That's also something to keep in mind, right? Now, it's absolutely valid in a triangle, right? And I have seen a WXY with a triangle in Y. But it's not like your common, it's not like, preferably you see a flat or a zigzag and not a triangle. So the fact we're now looking for a triangle by itself is, of course, already quite risky. Now, before weekly probabilities change, you first really want daily probabilities to change, but it's step by step. Take 49K and, oh, you know, a little bit of probabilities go towards the bears. I have seen scenarios, by the way, which include local W, X, and a zigzag in a wave Y, but I'm not a fan. I've explained many times why that's the case. But still, 45 and 42 are very, very interesting areas of support. Again, even on the log, 43.2 here is a target, but wait and see. On the 4-hour time frame, the probabilities are higher to still take out this low, looking for an A or a 1, a B or 2, 3 or C to the downside. A or 1 can be finished here, W, X, and then a flat in a wave Y here, for then a finished W, X, Y, 3-wave corrective structure. B or 2 in, look for a move down. Your alternative is A or 1 finished at the low here in a diagonal. And then you look for a bigger 3-wave structure and then a move down. But by all means, that's the thing, the confluence between the scenarios without counting this in detail, because it's not necessary. Your confluence is, okay, higher probabilities to take the low. Even if you count as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some sort of a diagonal like this, even then, okay, you take the low, but then you move 1A over here, you look for 2B, and then another, you see, so that doesn't really change anything. So that is currently your higher probability to take out that low. And if one is looking for the ABC, take a trend-based fib from the high here to, let's say, this low, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave structure down can be counted. And then to the current local high, you can see that a target is 53.2K. If we get a bigger corrective structure and price would move to 62, well, then your target is 55K. So there's nice confluence between a potential C target and the boxes. Of course, for wave 3, you simply want price to move straight through the supports. You would only see a bit this, and then ups, and then and then, you know, that's then what you're looking for. So that's why the reaction in all cases is very, very important. Now, price did not manage to get above the point of controls of the range so far. Volume profiles on my chart, as you can see, area of resistance shown in the morning video as well. And here you can see the value area highs in confluence with the order block, as well as the daily naked point of control representing the box that I have here. Right? So yeah. Now from a CVD perspective, not too much happened. We had a little bit of bullish CVDs here, but these played out quite soon after. And then we had some bearish CVDs here, and then we got the move down. There is not yet a great structure. So I look at CVD divergences currently on the right side of the recent high. I am not interested in any CVDs with previous pivots on the left. I need to see CVD on the right, right? So I want to see solid structure, which means I want to see multiple higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs, lower lows, right? And then CVD moving with that piece of market structure. So here we only had high, higher low, higher high, but then bearish CVDs. There was not another higher low, higher high, and then another higher low, and then bullish CVD, bullish CVD, bullish, you know. So yeah, instead you actually got bearish CVD. And this is, of course, where we are now. Price moving to the downside. Some news right now as well. Do we have any great support here? Yeah, there's still a daily somewhere. Oh yeah, here 57.3, but that's pretty much at the low. Can as well take the low in this case. Daily naked point of control didn't do a lot, so we just removed that from the chart. Take a volume profile. See what we got below the value area low here. Take another one. Last area 57.6. Yeah, point of control, value area high. But yeah, those are not like, I don't know, it's not great areas. Locally, if we do look for price to move to, let's say 61.8, or at least a daily naked point of control to start with, price needs to stop falling, change market structure, continuous bullish CVDs, see an impulse diagonal or a multi 1-2 from an Elliott Wave point of view. At the moment, we're moving down. And that's also what's reflected in the probabilities mentioned this morning and also mentioned last week. Nothing changed from that regard. Weekly, daily, 4 hour. Of course, last week I was mainly active on the 4. The weekly, as explained, hasn't changed so far, right? You first really want to see significant weakness. And the daily is starting to be problematic, of course, for the bulls as options are running out, as explained. Same is true in the 4 hour. So that's your probabilities, no? So yeah, probabilities locally higher to sooner or later take out that low. So yeah, that's that. Very nice price action, actually. Of course, if you're active on a 15-minute time frame, so because I was gone for the weekend, I didn't count anything in detail. Wait, Control Z, there we go. Didn't count anything in detail here. You know, it's not necessary. If you know, like, okay, on the 4 hour, this is the probabilities. You look at your areas of resistance, and you'll be like, okay, that's where I'll observe the reaction. Yeah, I like from a context point of view. Okay, so contextual. Yes, we hit resistance here. I had a target box on my chart here. We hit the resistance value area high, by the way. This high hit the value area high of a volume profile of this part. So we hit some resistance. Of course, we have the point of controls here that we've hit. But what I would, I guess, like to see, but the price like Bitcoin doesn't listen to Koenztrading, some random guy on YouTube, like making videos about Elliott waves, right? Like it does what it does, and we just go along with it and trade accordingly, according to our plan, strategy, probabilities. But what I would like to see, this is opinion, not analysis, is actually, I would really like the resistance here. You know, order block, value area highs, daily naked point of control. It has a nice amount of confluence. It has a nice amount of confluence, which is cool, right? Like here, yeah, okay, we hit a little bit of confluence. I had a box, has been touched, so I removed it. Here we hit the point of controls. Of course, resistance. But besides the point of controls, it's like, okay, we have the point of control, but not much like extra. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing that extra, like seeing price moving to a 61 or 62, and then observe the reaction, and if weakness, short Bitcoin to zero. So yeah, it would be nice. Definitely interested. But yeah, these are the probabilities. So whoopa. Okay, let me answer some questions and stuff as well. Elliott Wave Analysis at 17. I know maybe a Band-Aid said 15. I just continue to chat after saying the first time I was going to start. There we go. Short move up, red light typing. Okay. Side note: whenever I'm drinking, this is alcohol free. I don't drink alcohol, rarely ever. I shouldn't say I don't, but I rarely ever drink it. It's not something I really like. This is 0.0, guys. Okay. Will it reduce the probability strongly for a wave forward when we take out the low at 49K? The problem, if you take out the low, is counting the whole structure as a corrective move with high probabilities. Let me explain what I mean. Right, so we're on the weekly, we are looking then for 3, 4, 5. So 4, right? Now 4 has to be a 3-wave corrective structure. If you take out this low, of course, we all go to, okay, W, X, and then A, B, C, and Y. Now the reason I do not like this is actually communicated here. So don't forget about the triangle for a second, right? Don't look at this. It's irrelevant. The reason it's not great to count this as a W, X, and a zigzag A, B, C in a wave Y is because of the target for Y. This is your common target. 1.618, very uncommon, very uncommon. The last time I saw a wave Y going to a 1.618 was here, this low, right? Made on the 10th of March or somewhere there. What was it? Something like this, right? Like, yeah, 10th of March. It's very uncommon for a wave Y to extend that far. In a sideways, we're talking about a sideways double combo, a sideways WXY, right? Not a double zigzag WXY. In a double zigzag WXY, a wave Y moving to the 1.618 has higher probabilities than in a sideways WXY, wave Y moving to a 1.618. So that's something that plays on my mind. Like, okay, yeah, we can take this low. We still have the 1.618 here, but it's not great probabilities, right? How are we counting this in A, B, C? Well, A, B, C. Okay, but then this has to be the low, right? Can we count this A, B, and then somehow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave C, another ending diagonal? Of course we can, but from a probabilities perspective, have you ever seen a diagonal in A and a diagonal in C? I can't remember even last time this happened. It's so rare, right? You want to see the how do you call it, the alternation between A and C. Right? Generally, A is slow, C is fast. Of course, if A is fast, C tends to be slow. No, I should say that the other way around. Generally, A is quick and C is slow. Meaning A tends to be boom, and then you get your B, and then C tends to be like a much slower structure. A great example of that, just to show you, go to the price section here, and you'll see a very, very textbook ABC, which is 2nd of October to 12th of October, right? So, but anyway, diagonal C, diagonal A is of course something that will always have low probabilities. Cool, so then we have an ABC zigzag covered, right? W, X, Y, rare targets are gonna be hit. And then what? Well, then of course you have the scenarios where I see this expanding diagonal. Right, so you have your whatever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3-wave structure A, B, C, right? A, B, and then C. But an expanding diagonal is rare and never preferred unless all the other structures fail. Triangles doesn't work, flats don't work, so you always have to go to zigzags and WXYs here. In this case, you're always looking for zigzags or WXYs. Yesterday, by the way, I was shortly looking at the potential of, hey, can we have this as a first, this as a second, and then a third, right? Or even a W, X, Y, and then down. And the reason I thought about it is, well, if I can count this as a 3-wave and label this a W, right? I can count a flat here in another W, X, Y, flat, zigzag, zigzag, and then look for a bigger zigzag down to take the low. However, if wave Y is a zigzag, in a sideways double combo, wave W has to be a flat, A, B, C, but then it becomes, wave B didn't hit the 0.9. So, and it's just a mess. It's just like, if you take 49K, yeah, it's not nice. No, it's not great. At that moment in time, if we take 49K, we take the low, I'd be very patient, right? I'd be very patient. First of all, I never snipe lows. I didn't snipe, like I don't limit spot or limit my futures trading orders. I wait for the reaction, right? I wait for stability. So at no moment in time here have I added anything to either swings or spots, or I just do day trading and short term, and that's also because of the scenarios at hand and the risk involved at the moment. So yeah, it's definitely more difficult to count a solid 4, and we have to be very patient. Truncated C, like a 36-page. Nice that you mentioned the book and the page, by the way. But truncated Cs, yeah, okay, they're very rare, right? Very rare. But of course, they are part of Elliott Wave, so it does happen. But 15th of August. I don't know how to count a flat here. If this is a truncation, A, B, C. No, that's 8th of August. A, B, C. Oh, yeah, but still, I guess it would be whatever A is. We don't know. But if this is part of your A, this is B, and this is C, truncated. This has to be 1, 2, but 2 hit the 886. So it's still low probabilities. I am a starting entrepreneur. It will do the diagonal. Maybe. We can never talk in will. We can never talk in should. Right? Those type of words do not exist in trading. You can definitely have the diagonal on the chart, which is exactly what I explained, but it is way too early to talk about this diagonal. Of course, sometimes you have the Elliott Wave analysts online that like put every imaginable count on the chart, and they will be like, oh, we made a wick here. Oh, like boom, boom. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, this is gonna happen, right? First of all, so this never has the highest probabilities at that moment in time, right? Oh, we got to move up on diagonal, and then if price somehow would eventually end up like this, they're like, oh look, I was first. I'm so good. And I'm like, actually, it's the opposite. Actually, you're really shit, because you did not identify the highest probability scenario on the chart. The only thing you care about is boosting your ego from a scenario which was way too early to call, right? Never had the highest probabilities, but as more price action comes in and slowly things change, that is when slowly probabilities increase. But you actually show a weakness compared to showing a strength by doing that stuff online. So I'm not sure if other content creators are watching my content, but if you do that stuff, please don't. Right? It makes it look stupid. I'm starting entrepreneur myself, but I have trouble having discipline every day. How do you make sure you upload 3 videos every day, even if you sometimes don't feel like it? You know, you want to know my why? You are my why. Sounds very fishy, but it's true. So, of course, we talk about content. Now, so one of the whys is you guys. At the beginning, when I started uploading, I had 0 subscribers. I had 0 views. The why was not even involved with people watching. The main why that like made me disciplined in the beginning is building a channel, providing the same amount of uploads that MCO does, more crypto online. However, I wanted better quality, and I wanted to stick to the rules, which is something. Look, so first of all, he's a great guy, right? Like I don't know him personally. I'm impressed by his channel and his entrepreneurship, but I was a viewer of. Not a consistent viewer, but sometimes I checked YouTube, checked some Elliott Wave counts of people, and I got very annoyed by people not knowing the rules. And he is one of the people that tends to miss out on rules. So because of that, I was like, well, I can do the same. Like he has over 100, nowadays over 200K subs with this, with this type of content, right? Like 5 different counts on the chart, not always sticking to the rules. And as likable and as impressed I was also very annoyed that there was not a creator online that presents scenarios in a very less is more organized way, sticking to the rules and communicating probabilities, right? Based on his or her analysis. And I was like, but I can do that. So that's my niche, that's my gap. I was like, I can get there as well. I like the sub counts and stuff don't matter. If he can get there, I can get there as well. Because I'm very confident in the gap that I filled. So I was like, my why was like, well, I get annoyed. I'm watching why not be a creator instead of a consumer? So I decided to make my channel, and hopefully inform people with Elliott waves, based on rules, with probabilities, clear scenarios one by one, not a messy chart, doing live streams as well, right, to answer questions. But yeah, that was the start. So the start was an annoyance I had that I switched into, well, I can do this better. And I'm very competitive as a person. So I was like, well, I see these people online, but I can upload 3 times a day, right? I'm a global keynote speaker. I have the time. I can upload 3 times a day, just like MCO. I can present it better than MCO, and I stick to the rules better. So I was like, okay, I can get 100K, 200K subs. That's where it started. Now, I don't really care about, like, I rarely ever look at sub counts. I just want to provide the best content. That's my passion. I want to deliver the puzzle, deliver the Elliott wave counts, accurately, rules, probabilities, right? Every day. And nowadays, as things grow, of course, there's more whys coming in. Like, okay, I have a responsibility. There's people, there's expectation. I try to manage these, yeah. So that's why I write. Okay, I'm gone this weekend for Monza, so I'm not here. So just so people know, like, okay, Koen is doing something else. But I think what you need for discipline is you need a bigger reason. You need a better why. Like, you need to feel like that fire, right? The moment you open Twitter or YouTube and you see someone else that's doing what you would like to do, and you see that other person doing something or getting more likes or booking a little bit of success, you should feel that burning sensation of fuck, like, what am I doing here in my bed at 10 a.m.? I better get out. Like, let's go. Right? That's competition speaking, but of course it can be anything. I'm in a shit scenario, living in a house, but I can barely pay my rent and put food on the table for my kids. Or I'm gonna get a newborn, but I'm barely earning any money. Like, that can be a very personal reason to be like, oh fuck, I gotta get my shit together, work on myself. That's where it starts, and then build that company, right? Read books, do courses, get knowledge, get a certain skill, and then exploit it, or not exploit it. That sounds really bad, but focus, niche, double down, whatever, those type of words, right? Double down on it, make it grow. And that's consistency. And then once you book success in whatever you do, you don't stop, right? You're gonna use that success of vertical 1 and build other verticals to help more people. Because in the end, building a business is about helping people. It's not about, oh, I don't want to share. So this is what I could have done, because I've been successful in other areas, right? In my background and companies. I don't have to make content. I don't have to make 3 videos a day. Now, I like to do it, but I don't have to. I can sit on the beach as well. It's no problem. But I like to do it, right? And then once things start running, YouTube is now one vertical, but I can add other things, right, to it as well. So focus on one thing in the beginning, and then later build. But you need a fire. I kind of lost my point. I'm talking too much, you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah. Instead of just a regular W, can it be a W on the daily? WXYXZ is of course also very rare on a higher time frame. By the way, Jay, if something else pops up, I'm definitely gonna say it, but I got lost in my words there. WX, in this case, counting this as WXYX, that's of course not that great. So I would then you need X here, but X is a running flat. Then you need a Y, XZ. This wave X does preferably go higher though. Just to make sure you have a sideways WXY. But it did retrace to the golden pocket, so the 786 almost even. So on the cards. Now because if this is your W, you then have, oh wait, my Control Z is I have to refresh the chart, but WX. The most common target for Y in a WXYXZ is the 1-to-1 trend-based fib extension, which has been hit, of course, here, right? So preferably, therefore, if you look at a WX, preferably your Y is finished, and this is your second X, and then you look for a Z. The thing is that in a sideways WXYXZ, which is what we're looking for here, only one wave out of W, Y, or Z is allowed to be a zigzag, and clearly your wave Y has to be a zigzag here, which means that wave Z is only allowed to be a flat, A, B, C, or a triangle. It's not allowed to be a zigzag. So it's an option, but it's of course generally unlikely. Errol, welcome. If you say bull are running out, do you think we will not see 85k to 100k? Well, that's still an option, right? So the bulls are running out of options. And if you then look at the analysis, you know exactly what I mean. Yo, maybe a band-aid, man. Thanks, man. Dave again, Dave being gifted. Yeah, Dave, you know what to do. You know how it works. He's never actually filled in the form. He just then he likes he's a member, spams the emoji sometimes. But yo, Dave, what's up, man? Thanks, maybe a band-aid. Sibel, welcome. Knowing that historically September months have been negative 8 out of the last 12 years, should be give money, no difference. No. Interesting. I also like, Ramsey, that you come in with data. Right? I love data. 8 out of 12. What is that? 70%? So 60%, 70%. So and that's interesting, right? That's interesting. When did the month start? We started September, which is here. So it opened at about 59. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, a lower degree wave too. Yeah. Bonjour, Power Meet. How you doing, Jay? I've been trading for a while now. Not ever. Yeah, don't look at this. Don't look at this, Jay. I get 3% a month. That is perfect. And I'm actually not sure if someone else replied to this. Don't look at the peeps that do the 15 and the 30 and the 50 and the 10 and the whatever. Right? Focus on yourself. If you make 3% a month, the only thing you need to do is increase your portfolio size. But that means consistency is key. If you can prove yourself consistency, you can invest more money into your portfolio that you can lose, of course, right? Sensible. But making 3% a month is very good. There's no reason to look at others. First of all, trading is very egoistic. Don't look at, someone else, like with a Lamborghini picture on probably a rented one on Instagram, shows a picture on his phone in front of his rented Lamborghini with like 1,000%, you know, and then actually that 1,000% gain is probably with a $1 trade, you know, like that sort of stuff. Like there's so much shittery out there. You do not know someone else's situation, their budget, their portfolio, their plan, their, you know, all that stuff. Focus on you, right? Focus on you, which also includes, of course, that you can learn stuff from people and learn about Elliott waves and learn about risk management and learn about strategies, learn about tools, but don't feel bad nor feel good, right? Just feel normal, like, oh, I made 3% this month. Perfect. I'm good, right? If you make 3% a month on $100 account, that's $3. You're like, fuck, I'm getting nowhere. But if you can prove to yourself consistency and it becomes 1,000 because you have money to invest, and then 10K and then 100K, 3% on 100K is 3K. Well, it's an additional 3K a month, not bad, right? If you go to 1 million, 30K, right? So a 15% gain might be people trading with $100. You don't know. You don't know what's happening on the other side, right? And then they made $15. But the guy making 3% on a 100K account makes 3K. So, this is really good. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't feel bad. Also, do not feel better than anyone else. Just feel yourself. When will the bull market start? When the range is finished and probability switch to the bulls, which at the moment, sorry if you heard that, is of course a bit of a challenge. Bogdan, how are you doing? Welcome. How do you count the move from 57.1? 57.1. Do you see an impulse? I guess you mean this one here. Yeah, this is the stuff like this is the typical stuff of I'm not interested in counting this because I have the 4-hour probabilities. I actually don't know why I had an alarm here, but I have the 4-hour probabilities. I was gone for the weekend, including Monday. This was Monday's price action. Can we count an impulse in here? In that case, we would need some sort of a diagonal in a 1. This is your 2. So you have a 1, 2. This is a 3-wave structure, so we can't look for a flat. So that means we need some sort of this going on where this is your 1, this is your 2. Not allowed to have overlap with a 4, which we have here. So this cannot be a wave 4 in that case. But if this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, then this would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then we go into A, B, C. A, B, and then C. That's of course not what you like to see. So this would be A, B, C, because then you have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish. So then we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Oops, sorry, lol. Control Z. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Yeah, and that's then the end of your A. An impulse would then be pretty much what I did. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. No, you can't do 4, 5 because of the overlap here. An ABC looks better. Yeah. Can we count this? Or we need another 1, 2 in here, right? So you need a multi 1, 2. So you need a 1, 2, 1, 2 something here. If you can make this 1, 2, 1, 2, then you have 1, 2, 1, 2, right? 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. That's your impulse. But that means micro counting and all that stuff, which is not for me. I prefer to zoom out in that case. Yeah. Cheers again. Maybe a band-aid. If Bitcoin does not hit 55K, how's the life in France? What's up, Par? How you doing? Live in France so far? Very good. Very good. Yeah. South of France is great. Weather is great. People are great. Been to Monaco several times already. to Italy. Italy is driving distance, right? I was driving and I was driving along the coast, and then I saw the Italy sign. I was like, damn, you know, I'm literally, and not even an hour, I think, away from Italy, which is insane. So I really enjoy the area. I enjoy the mountains, enjoy the ocean. I don't really enjoy, like, I like the beach, as in the ocean, but it's a stone beach here in Nice. Of course, I prefer sand, but you know, yeah, it's good. It's been a very pleasant time so far. Does it feel like holiday? We are settled in, and it still feels like holiday. I gotta say, of course, I'm in my office here, and that's not different compared to where I was in the Netherlands. Of course, this is my comfort zone, if you know what I mean. This is my spot. If this is the same desk, same setup as I had in the Netherlands, as I have here in France. If I would go to America or Asia or wherever in the world, I have my setup. So that's my like comfort area. But yeah, there's definitely still things to do. We still have to go to a notary. I still have to set up business identities here. Still, that's what I did today for part of the day, is change my address, because the guy living in our old house received some post. You know how that goes. It's always like number one frustration. Oh shit, I have to change that address and that one and that one. So, but yeah, we learning French a bit more. I can speak some French, but I am far away from fluent. But it's good. I don't like the lazy and slow. I even when I'm here, I'm very active. So I'm always I'm not a that's a personality. So even though the lifestyle is sun and beach, I'm a very active person. Lots of energy. So I'm during the day I'm always doing stuff. Yeah. No, so far so good. Thanks for asking. What's the problem of wave Y being a zigzag? Wave C is going very deep. So your wave C would go to the uncommon/rare target of Y, being the 1.618 in a sideways double combo. So wave Y can be a zigzag theoretically, but it is very deep for a wave Y. So that is something we keep in mind. If you do dip below 49K, of course, a WXY is going to be one of the scenarios that is going to be on the chart. But we got to be aware of it being a deep wave Y. Actually makes me think. Let me have a look here. Yeah, it would be deep for Y. That's simply the thing. If I may ask you, how can these theses be valid without correlation from and all funds and shares took a show? Yeah, this is a fundamental question, which well, the best answer I can give you here is to learn Elliott Waves. And if you learn I think this is chapter 1 in the book. The book is in another room. Elliott Waves is not related to news. It's related to emotion, sentiment in a way, but it's just price action. And of course, if you are a fundamental trader, that's perfectly fine. And if you make profit with fundamentals, it's even better. But Elliott Waves works perfectly well unrelated to any fundamentals. And even better, it often counters the fundamentals. If you go through history, you will see some of the worst news events at the exact bottom, and some of the best at the exact high, which is also exactly what you like to see. So no, it's maybe you have people that trade Elliott Waves or do Elliott Waves in confluence with fundamentals, but I am not one of them. Unfortunately for the fundamental people here. Oh, I don't know him. I would need to check him out. Do you have a link of high time frame wave counts of Bitcoin? It's a playlist on my channel. If you go to my homepage on YouTube, scroll down a little bit. There's a playlist called Macro and High Time Frame Elliott Wave videos. Cheers, Yannis. So yeah, I would never include macro events. So I will never be a golden content creator. It's not something I use nor have interest in. It doesn't do anything for my trading nor my counts. Unfortunately, I guess for the fundamentalist. But it doesn't mean it doesn't work, right? So I think if you are a fundamental trader again and you use Elliott Waves, you can use the two in confluence. Like I use CVD and Elliott Waves, for example. So there's a lot of potential, maybe, I don't know, but anything news related is really not for me. What's up, Serdar? It's been a while. Good to have you here. What's up? Martin, could I please ask you to elaborate more on what do one get in Diamond? I read it, but I'd like to know a bit more. Yes. So of course there's different, I'll keep it short, guys, for everyone else watching here that is not interested. I generally don't really like to talk about it too much because it always sounds very salesy, which is not really my personality. But in a nutshell, bronze is support. You get absolutely 0 for that, but people that get gifted bronze I bump them up to silver. Silver is short-term update. So in the morning, I write out everything. So everything you see in the video, of course, later. First, I wake up, do my analysis, make pictures of every scenario, write my thoughts, and then everything. And then in between videos, if anything happens, I write updates and things and changes in CVD or scenarios or something interesting I've spotted, that sort of stuff. Gold is all about learning or shortening the learning curve of Elliott Waves. So gold is a lot about interaction, asking questions, a lot of content about how I approach an empty chart to a full Elliott Wave plan. There's a very active group in there as well of people using Elliott Waves. And it's all aimed to shorten the learning curve, as mentioned, right? So in the end, I can't make someone study, but if you study Elliott Waves and you want to get to the finish line quicker and get a better idea of how things work, that's the place to go. And then Diamond is all about building a plan, right? Following 6 steps I always talk about, and consistent profitability and also psychology. So Diamond, what is shown in Diamond is how I trade, the strategies I have, they're out there, right? But not necessarily, if people want to use them, that's fine, no problem. But an important goal is, this is how I got to trading this way. And it is based on a plan. It is based on data. It is based on a strategy. And that is what I want people to do in Diamond, right? It's focused on building your plan, your strategy, based on data, based on backtesting, forward testing, that sort of stuff. And that is what happens in Diamond. Diamond is the place where people work on their strategies and their plans, but they also see my strategies, either as an example, or they try using it and see if it's something for them, yes or no. Also, we have AGGR templates in there of like lots of different coins, and there's lots of like small things and extras in there. But in a nutshell, silver short-term updates, gold shortening the learning curve, diamond is about building, helping you build that plan, right? Build a plan, build a strategy. And that is where that is after which you achieve consistent profitability. You need a plan. Now, if people don't believe in building a plan based on data and statistics, then clearly it's not for you. But then probably consistent profitability is also not for you. So, yeah, that is where the traders are made. Yeah, you can always ask questions, Jay, but discipline is it's about the why. Let me share you another story before I continue. Because I had a moment where my discipline was low with a company. So I launched a company with 2 other people, right? So a team of 3. It was my IP, my knowledge. I was the brain. I was the one with the knowledge. And then one was the business guy, and one was more of like a media guy. That was in 2020 March. And it started with excitement and energy. But as things went along, you always have what MJ DeMarco, author of Unscripted, calls the desert of desertion. It's the period where you work very hard, but you don't earn shit. Right? So from a YouTube's perspective, the first months or years you work on a channel, right? And you don't get paid that because you don't have 4,000 watch hours or 1,000 subscribers and all that. That's your desert of desertion. You got to keep doing, but there's no pay. So that's in business. That's where we were. And what happened is the other 2, because of course it's my IP, it's my knowledge is in there, so it's exciting. But the other 2 started to lose some like energy, like the fire, which had a big impact on me, because I was like, yeah, but I don't want to carry this business all by myself. And then when I get it off the ground, the others go with it, and then ta-da, oh yeah, that's not how I wanted things to go. So I kind of lost my motivation, which then led to less interaction, less communication, doing other things. That was the same time where I got in touch with the charts as well, or later in early 2021. So I spent a lot more time learning trading, learning Elliott Waves compared to working on that business. And that's just because I really lost my motivation. And then eventually I told them, like, okay, guys, time to end that partnership, right? And then I tried it again with actually 2 others, because but then that also failed. And like, sometimes you have a business idea or you start a business, but you can't get it off the ground. Now, of course, people can say, oh, if you do your best, it will always work. But I don't really I agree to a certain extent where, yes, you can get it off the ground. I knew I could get it off the ground, but the potential of that company was a lot less compared to other things I was doing. So either I spent a lot of time into building a company with a lot less potential, right? Or I used that time to work on something with a lot more potential, right? So yeah, this company A may be like up and running. We have like certain content and courses and stuff that it was in another industry, gaming and esports. So yeah, it's already there. I could put a lot of time in there, but the potential is less. And based on numbers, we couldn't do ads because the ads would be too expensive to convert someone into a paying client. So we had to go through government routes and da-da-da, but then you're stuck to budget cuts and very difficult. So either that, or I start something completely new, put all my energy and resources in that, but the potential is a lot bigger, right? So, and then you're going to think like, yeah, well, and then you make an entrepreneurial decision. You're going to pivot, right? And that is something that happens in, read the book, The Lean Startup, right? The Lean Startup, great book. They talk about pivoting there. Like you build a company, you just do it. You don't like plan the whole business and then start. You just get at it, small bits. And then sometimes you're going to be you're going to have these important decisions where you either pivot or you double down, right? And I've had 2 moments in my entrepreneurial life where I pivoted. One was quitting medical school. As a medical student, I had my reasons. It's not that I just quit it because I quit it, right? So for the students that are here, please don't just quit your university or school for any good reason. And second was giving up a business to start something completely new. And in both cases, I followed my underlying feeling, and in both cases, those are the two best decisions I have ever made in my work/study life. Period. The second decision was also made with the help of a business coach. So you don't know where you are in a few years, right? Where's Jay? Oh, here. You maybe don't know where you are in a couple of years. I don't know where I am in a couple of years. You can have a plan. I have a 5-year plan. I have a 10-year plan. But the reason you make a 5-year plan is so that it influences your decisions today, right? Not in 5 years. Oh, I want to have a global audience in 5 years, right? So imagine with the YouTube channel, I already have a global audience, but let's say that I want the YouTube channel to become some global business, whatever is attached to the channel. I need to make decisions today to think about that in 5 years. I need a website partner that has global experience. I need a PR agency. I need a team, maybe someone in America. I need someone in Asia. I need someone in Africa, right? Like, so the decisions I make today impact the potential goal I reach in 5 years. But there's a lot that can happen in that time. But you got to kick your ass and get started, mate. But I know how difficult it is. But if you do not feel that fire or that excitement, that passion into a certain direction, certain thing you're doing, start something else. Find a problem, solve the problem, help people. Business is about helping others, right? I hope that based on my analysis, I help people and I educate people. I'm no financial advisor, as no one is online, but hopefully it helps people in their analysis, or it's something that they can add to their analysis, or whatever. Maybe it's just some education, right? Okay, so this is how I pull a fib. This is what a wave C is. I didn't know I was passionate about trading nor Elliott Waves until I got in touch with it. So you have a lot of undiscovered passions. One of the worst advice people generally give is follow your passion. Because what if you've not yet met your passion, right? I'm passionate about gaming and esports, yes. And I tried to build multiple businesses in that industry. And some worked, right? Some didn't work, but eventually I got in touch with trading and Elliott Waves, and then I developed the passion. And now that is trading is, of course, something I do on a daily basis. And then YouTube came out of it as well. And so you might not know your passion, right? You don't need to be passionate to build a business. Once you start to earn money with whatever business you have, your passion will kick in sooner or later. You know what I mean? So as long as your focus is outside of yourself, it shouldn't be egoistic, right? If I wanted to keep Elliott Waves for myself and trade, like have all this knowledge and just keep it for myself, I wouldn't have started a YouTube channel. I could have been scared. Oh, if I share my Elliott Wave analysis, what are people gonna think, right? I could have been scared about many things, sharing my knowledge, sharing tips and tricks, things that other Elliott Wave analysts don't do anywhere on YouTube, or certain things that like the 886, right, for example. But I very much believe in sharing. Like it's instead of directing to focusing on me, I focus on you, right? Help others and eventually it will help you. Now, of course, I've already had businesses in the past and all that stuff, but that's I guess a good start as well. Is how can you help people, Jay? Like what is an annoyance you have, or what do you see around you that you can use or fix or change or improve, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just like my YouTube channel, I didn't reinvent Elliott Waves. I didn't reinvent the content I made. I literally used other content creators and I copied this, and I was like, well, I'm better in this, I'm better in this, I'm better in this, and I do this different and this different. This is my channel. Boom, go. People say don't short in a bull market. Are they not technically strong? Do you short? Yes. Don't short in a bull market is probably more like aimed for swing trades. You don't want to generally, like, that's also not true. But of course, wait, I need to zoom out for this. First of all, do I believe in don't short in a bull market? No, because I short in a bull market. But you need to know when to short in a bull market. So if you are in a long, right? Double 1, 2 here. Imagine you're in a long. Now, price starts ranging. And you're like, okay, we are in a bigger sideways range. We are changing market structure here again. I go in a 1x short. A 1x short means that you, let me say this differently. You are going to hedge your long instead of 1x short. Depends on the leverage and stuff. So you're hedging your long position with a short, which means that whatever price does here is not influencing your profits. Your profits stay the same, right? And then once you get more clarity, you can either let the short, for example, hit stop loss, right? And then as price moves up, because this may be the area where your bullish probabilities change, and then probabilities are higher to look for 80K, 100K, right? And then you let your long run. But if you see significant signs of weakness, then eventually what you'll do is, of course, when your bull market would be significantly reduced in probabilities for whatever analysis you have, and the short becomes interesting, you let the short ride and you close the long, right? But your profits, you hedge. So you can absolutely short in a, for example, hedge environment. Now, I have shorted in this range so much from a day trading perspective. Scalpers probably short like 10 times a day, like there's so many opportunities. So you can absolutely short in a bull market, but you got to be aware that if this happens, this is not a great place to short, clearly. But also, it's not a great place to short because of the input. Look how steep this is, right? This, once you start ranging and you go sideways, so you have a good solid move up and then you go sideways, right? This is a place to hedge, right? Maybe look for some shorts as well. But if price is doing this, it's not great, right? You don't want to short, right? When you move up impulsively like this, you don't want to short this range, right? You really need to wait for a lot more proof. So yes, I short in a bull market, I long in a bear market, but I have my risk management. I think it's more a risk management question than it is a long or short question. I guess the general recommendation of don't short in a bull market is mainly aimed for people that have no idea what they're doing. And if you don't and you short in a bull market, you're probably going to lose. Yes. It's the same as longing in a bear market. But if you know what you do and you have a plan and you know what to look for, it's very safe to do that. So maybe that's Senat. I see a lot of things in you that I recognize in myself. So maybe what you want to convey in your response about discipline and consistency for a follower is that each person has their own individual motivation, just like you did in the beginning and still do now. But for me, and I believe for you as well, the greatest motivation for discipline and consistency might be the personal belief that you primarily want to be a better person every day. Yes. Yeah, I like this. The conclusion might be that everyone needs to find their own motivation, and in moments when energy fades, remind yourself why you started and draw energy from that. Yeah, I like, yes, read what Senate has. I agree. And then also an altruistic approach and believe that others can be better too. Yeah, I like this way of thinking, and I would agree. Right, so discipline and consistency is a result of something else, right? Some underlying motivation that gets you out of bed every day and do what you do. And just like who's that guy? Goggins. I forgot his first name, but he has a video somewhere where he says, yo, I wake up in the morning, go for a run. Sometimes I'm staring at my shoes for 30 minutes. But I still put them on and go for that run. Now that is discipline and consistency. You might not always do it at the same time, right? You can't expect me to post a video every day at like 8 a.m. in the morning, poof, time, right? But even if first of all, for me, analyzing the chart is like playing a video game. But even if I, for some reason, may not feel like it, right? There's still going to be a video. I'll be looking at the screen. I'll be like, oh, fuck, there's not... I'm not sure about the probabilities. This does sometimes happen. Like I analyze the chart and I'm like, damn, there's not like a great advantage in probabilities, or I'm not really sure what to talk about, and then sometimes it makes my head spin like, fuck, what can I say? What that sort of stuff. I'm gonna start like thinking about what am I gonna do with the content. That's like the same as thinking I'm looking at my shoes for 30 minutes. I'm looking at the chart for 30 minutes and be like, how am I going to make a video out of this, right? But eventually you make it. And I think that's like a great approach to consistency and discipline as well. And you start with, of course, your own motivation. But then as things start going for you, other things will motivate you as well. So yeah, become a better person every day. Help people every day. Do you ever use 1 min CVD? No, it's too noisy. Yeah, some others do, but I don't myself. But yeah, I agree with Senat. What do you think about NeoWave? I've actually never used it nor read about it. NeoWave, I have had comments about it, but NeoWave for me is more like it's based on Elliott waves, probably a few different things, and then marketed as a new wave style. But it's not something I use, but I haven't read about it nor learned about it. So it's not like I can have an opinion about something I don't know about, but it is like as I know very much like the basics, but it's just like it comes from Elliott Waves, but then with his own sauce on top of it and then marketed in a different way. Oh boy, I definitely have to catch up. There's no ocean around Monaco. Not around Monaco, but there is in front of Monaco. In which city did you live in the Netherlands? Gouda, and before that in Amsterdam. Cheers, still waters. Can you read 50-minute chart? I mean, so locally, the only fib you want to pull on your chart is this. Up, and do that. There you go. So because the two options you have here is you're going to be looking for, my magnet is on. One second here, I'm going to refresh my chart. Go to the 15. Wait for my object tree to load. 1, 2, 3. Use the volume. So the two options you have here, right, is of course ABC and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the difference here between the two is the 618. Let's just take it from the to the low. 1.618 touched, not bad, but that's still a target for a C as well. So what we're looking for here is, okay, if this is an impulse to the downside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 4 invalidation is the 618. So what you do is take a fib from the high of your 2 to the low. The moment the 618 is hit, right? Even if price goes down. Moment 618 is hit, currently 58,664 on Coinbase. Probabilities are higher. This is an ABC. Probability is higher to take the high. Right. For an impulse, what you're looking for is a sideways range to form, preferably same size or longer compared to your 2, and then another drop in 5 on lower volume. You can see that our move down so far was on an increased amount of volume, something you like to see in a wave 3, but also something you tend to see in a wave C. So it's not easy to know what's going on. Is it C or is it 3? Now, if you do extend beyond the 1.618 and you go lower, the probabilities increase for 3. But the 1.618 is still a target for both, especially in crypto. The 1.618 for a C is not uncommon. But for this to be a wave C, A, B, C, and then move back above the high, of course, you need to wait for support, right? Proof of support, proof of strength. So you need to see market structure, bull CVD, la-di-la-di-la, and then eventually hit the 618. That's then where probabilities change. And of course, the 618 has to be hit before you get a 4 and a 5. If you do get that 5 down, 618 is removed from the chart. So yeah, on a 50-minute time frame, this is what we're looking for. You can use channels, of course, as well, but we now broke out all of the channels. So this is a base channel, right? So taken from the high to the low. Now, in an impulse, you want to see wave 3 break out of this channel. So, arguably, potential for wave 3 here, no? In an ABC, most commonly, you range inside the channel, or wave C ends somewhere around the lower end of the channel. But I don't like to use channels as much as I like to use just horizontals. That's my favorite. So I would like to see, for wave 3, I would like to see price extend even further. But yeah, keep an eye on the 618. Does it have any value that the last move up on the 50-minute time frame from 57.1 to 59.8 would raise more than the 618 other than no? Because of course, if we're looking for a way on a 4-hour time frame for more downside, you could already have a finished corrective structure and just look for a continuation down in an impulse. Or you move to 61.7, 62K and then look for rejections there. Interesting. Just playing some poker. What's up, Thunder? And hopefully you're winning, man. Poker has a lot of confluence with trading as well from a psychology point of view. The only bullish scenario is we had wave 1 and expanded wave 2, which low probability. Yes. It's not the only bullish scenario, but that is a low probability bullish scenario. Yes. So basically all the bullish scenarios are low probability at the moment. Some higher than others, of course. Right? Wave 2 being 7 times longer than 1 is very low probability. Multi-1-2 with a wave 2 hitting the 886 is low probability. Expanding diagonal, very low probability. If we look for that if you go to the analysis, if you go for a very big diagonal, low probability, way too early. Triangle, between the bullish scenarios, right? Triangle, between low and medium, just because on the daily, it's that would be an option. And then all the others take the low. So, do you think Bollinger Band works? Yes, but not for me because I don't really like the tool myself, but that's because of my trading style. So there's also people in the Discord group that use Elliott Waves with Bollinger Bands, or use Elliott Waves with EMAs, or use Elliott Waves with the VWAP. So does it work? Yes, but what you need to do is find the patterns in Bollinger Bands. So you want to find confluence, of course, between Bollinger Band, maybe some other tools, and entering a position. So what do you need to see in the Bollinger Band to enter a position, right? On price. And you want to, so in other words, you want to find patterns that reoccur in the Bollinger Band indicator to use it for your trading. And that is where building statistics can help out. What if if Bitcoin keeps diving, they go to zero? Only the brave, only the string. 300 is a fun movie. It's one of those movies where it's somehow it's very artistic because of the colors they like, the I don't know, the colors they used. It's somewhat awkward, weird, artistic, but it's a nice movie. Someday we'll see alt season. We all have hopium. Based on my analysis, I believe we finished the first one too, and I work on bigger 3-wave. My short target 43. Nice 10 oceans. Make sure to manage the trade well. Lean Startup is the truth. Yeah, it's a nice book. Eh? In a wave 3, what do you think about 886 touch returning to the GP? In a wave 3, having an 886 touch, I don't know really how wave 3 wouldn't hit an 886 unless you break out of your wave 1, 2 price action. So if you have like, for example, if this is a 1 and a 2 and you would start a 3 up, you will hit the 886 taken from the high of 1 to the low of 2, and then probabilities are higher to take the high, right? So you're looking for 3. But yes, 886 touch returning to golden pocket within the triangle area target of wave 4. Holy moly, man, like I have no idea. There's so much happening here. In a wave 3, which is, I don't get that, but about the 886 touch, returning to golden pocket, yes, that's quite common. In confluence with the triangle, okay, of a wave 4. The 886 is a target for any wave in a triangle. Yeah, it can hit it as long as you then don't take the high. Wave B can take the high or low of A, by the way, but the origin of A. But other than that, your C, D, E can hit the 886, and then of course you want to go the other direction. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. I don't really get that. Doctor of Elliott Wave. Lean Startup. Well, we definitely have some entrepreneurs here, for sure. Bitcoin bullish or bearish? Check the analysis. Cheers, Charbel. Appreciate it, man. I haven't analyzed this area in detail. If this is W, X, and then A, B, C, and Y, that works. Wave B hit the 236. I'm not sure what B you talk about. Maybe you talk about this one. But if you take a fib from the high to the low, and then I talk about this low, if this is impulse down, right? And you look for that WXY, then your B hit the 382, right? And that is a target for B. It's no problem for a B. It's just less common for a 2. Rethink of old stuff with some new stuff. Yeah, exactly. I agree, Blaster. Ned, keep doing it. For all the research you're talking, that's said from someone who's been in business 55 years. 55 years. Now that's impressive, Ned. Thanks, first of all, for your comment. But you're an entrepreneur for 55 years already. Shit, man. Like, there's probably a lot I can learn from you, and a lot everyone here, starting entrepreneurs, can learn from you as well. I've only been in business for 6 to 7 years now. So I still have a little bit to get to 55, but I'm coming for you, I'm coming for you. 55 years, that's impressive. Very impressive. Lots of experience. We should find the guy that does that like interviews people on the street and be like, are you an entrepreneur? And if yes, what industry were you in? And that sort of like that guy. We should send him to you. Learn some lessons from your experience. My luck when missing. I mean, come on. Against a straight flush, what do you do? No? What do you do? It happens. But it's, again, poker, all risk management. Right? It's all risk management. if you are in the area, two good restaurants, Chèvre d'Or and Eden Rock Hotel. Okay, wait. I always forward these to my wife. Chèvre d'Or. Oh, that's in Nice. You're joking. That my wife is in Nice. Oh, hotel. Yeah, we have had dinner there with my parents last year. Because we wanted to potentially use this as our wedding location. 1 second, let me show this to people. So this is Ez is like a small medieval like village on top of a mountain, not too far away from where I live, actually quite close. And so this is Ez, right, on the mountain, and there's a hotel on the mountain, which gives you amazing views. And like we had this as an option for our wedding, and we visited this place. We had dinner here on the terrace. But then on the other side. So, yeah. Wait. Hotel is, or is it just the same view? Let me check here. Hotel as, not Nice, no. Is that the famous? It must be that one, the famous hotel. Oh, here. What's this? This place. What's this? Hotel Chateau Eza. Yes, this is where we had dinner. Here. I was sitting just below this picture. Hotel Chateau Eza. That's the one you meant, right? Hotel Chateau Eza. Chèvre d'Or. I think that might be the restaurant of that place. But yes, that's I went there last year. And my wife is currently in Ez with her sister and Andre, other guy that's here. So I can definitely... so I know they're going to visit it. I don't know if they're going to eat there. Maybe they do. Eden Rock, what's that? Eden Rock Hotel du Cap. Is that Cap Ferrat? Okay, we haven't been there yet. We have been to Jean Cap Ferrat though, but not Hotel du Cap. Wow. Nice. Yeah, nice. Thanks for sharing. I'll make sure to send it through to my wife. She's in Ez at the moment. Do you guys in the chat have any tips on how to network, or would you say it comes naturally? Okay, here we go. Let me get my power bank because I have tips. I have a list in my phone, in my notes, with networking tips. And the reason I have this in my phone is because I am a guest speaker once or twice a year at the Breda University of Applied Sciences. And they always want me to talk at the end about networking and give the students some tips on how to network. So give me 1 second because I have a list in my phone, and my phone was dead, but now I'm starting up my phone. So there we go. And the reason I am asked to speak about that is because networking has played an important role in my life so far. I got where I am today thanks to my network, but also, it gives you opportunities. You still have to say yes if you get opportunities. Of course, also determination and discipline and consistency and all that stuff, you know. But 1 second here. Where is it? I gotta, man, I have so many notes. Search. Where is it? I even have this. I have the 6 steps in my notes. The 6 steps I always talk about. People that are here more often will know. Fitness workouts. Books. Jeez, where did I? Oh, here. There we go. Okay, ready? Wow, I had to scroll down, yo. I made this list in 2022. That's the date. Okay, are you ready? Okay, step 1. Please just make a LinkedIn page, right? And learn how to make a good page. 2, invest in yourself and go to events, right? Sitting at home will not make you grow a network. Going to school will only get you that far. Get yourself mingled, right? Get people around you where you want to go. So if you are interested in trading, go to a trading event. If you are interested in healthcare, go to healthcare events, right? Invest in yourself, book that ticket of $50, $100, be there for the day, talk to people, talk to the speakers in particular, right? So I'm a speaker myself, right? I'm a global keynote speaker. You can Google my name. You'll see my agent, Chartwell Speakers, and also in the Netherlands, right? Athenos, which is also a speaker agency. What I recommend everyone to do is go to events, first of all. Second, add every speaker. Because I, as a speaker, do not know who's in the room. I will not remember all of your faces. You know, I speak for hundreds of people, sometimes a small group of 30, but it's still difficult to know in hindsight afterwards who was there, who wasn't. So just add the speakers, because if you are interested in, let's say, healthcare, and maybe the niche is virtual reality, in the Netherlands there is an event that is focused on virtual reality in healthcare. You book tickets, you go there, you add all the speakers on LinkedIn, right? And you say, oh, I was at your presentation. Maybe you weren't, but it doesn't matter because I don't know as a speaker. And was great, blah, 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 blah. And try to add people, right? Increase your network that way, which you then do on LinkedIn. But also mingle with people, get around people that are where you want to go, no? If you go to events, leave last. Do not leave first. Now, this is usually where people feel very awkward. So what tends to happen is you finally book that ticket and you go to an event. One of the worst things that you can do is go with a friend and only stay and stand next to your friend the whole day. Right? It won't get you anywhere. So if you go together, then go to that speaker together. Go to a random table together, right? Build the confidence together and get out there, right? Talk to people. What is very good, in my opinion, is if you do not have friends, if you don't have friends with the same interest, go alone and don't be scared to go alone. Go to that event alone. You find your spot, you find your seats, talk to the person left and right of you, right? When you sit down, say shortly hi. And I think I have another thing coming up later. And then afterwards, right, usually there's some food and bites and stuff. Get some bites, get some food, and go stand at a table. And you might feel very awkward at a table where there's already people, right? So there's still like a spot, right? And just walk up and be like, excuse me, you know, can I listen in? Can I stand here? Can I be whatever, right? And you don't have to like immediately actively engage, but just listen about what they talk about and ask questions, right? Don't start talking about your whole own career and that sort of stuff. Ask questions. People love to talk about themselves. Ask questions, right? Don't talk about yourself. If you get a question, talk about yourself, return the question, right? People are like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a student at this la-di-la university. What do you do, right? And then try to, because the people that talks the most learns the least. Well, nice quote. Cool. So leave last at events. And the reason is, another reason is if you leave last, you force yourself to stay around as much as you can, to talk with as many people as you can. Plus, the smaller the group gets, the less awkward it is to actually talk with the remaining people, right? So, number 4, you always have a no, but you can always get a yes. It's not necessarily a networking thing, but this has to do with asking questions. So I know that in the past, before I got good in networking, sometimes I was like, damn, I really want to ask this person a question. Maybe you even have it in dating. It's the same thing. You see that girl, you see that guy, and you're like, oh fuck, I actually really want her number. But then you're too scared. You leave the club, you go home, and then you're slamming your head against the table because you're like, fuck, right? No one's deleting the messages, by the way, Beerabit. It's the YouTube. It's YouTube. Beerabit, make sure in the channels to go to YouTube banned words. Probably there's a banned word. But then you're like, shit, I didn't ask the question, right? And you're going to feel bad about it. You always have a no. You can only get a yes. You can only approach that girl in this case and be like, hey, la-di-la-di-la, blah-di-blah-di-blah, and then eventually, can I get your number? And if it's a no, at least you got clarity, right? If it's a yes, win, right? So don't like ghost yourself. And it's the same in business. When you network at events, you always have a no. If there's this big speaker, Gary Vaynerchuk, or whatever, you come up with a name, just go, because you always have a no. You're gonna be angry on yourself for not asking the question or making that picture or whatever. 5, this is a very important one, which I actually and I realize rarely anyone knows this, or at least is aware of this. This is a really good one. Number 5 is always ask a question in an unknown audience. If you are in your classroom with your mates and you ask a question to the teacher, everyone already knows who you are. Doesn't matter. If you go to an event or somewhere and you don't know people around you, like you don't know shit, you're one of the randoms, always ask a question to the speaker or the host or whoever is in front of the room, right? Always ask a question, and the reason is that at most events, when you ask a question, you are asked to stand up. First of all, I always recommend to stand up when you ask a question. Not just respect, but also everyone sees your face. That's where it's important, right? You want people to recognize you. So first of all, at most events, right, you're asked to stand up, and if it's not a must, just get your ass up, stand up. Second, if you ask a question, it doesn't matter, there's no stupid questions. What is important is before you introduce your question, you say, my name is Koen Schobbers, and I am a XYZ. Now, everyone in the room knows who you are. Of course, they know the speaker because the speaker or the host has been talking the whole time. But now, everyone in the room knows you. And if there is only one person in the room that was looking for XYZ, you are the guy or the girl. And because you stood up and you do like this, right? Everyone knows who you are. They've seen your t-shirt, seen your face, seen your haircut. They will find you afterwards, right? So even before you ask the questions, you already got what you wanted, which is attention from the room Everyone knows who you are, right? You get up and hopefully you ask a nice question, right? Doesn't matter if it's a good or a bad question. There's no bad questions. Usually there's people with the same question. They're just too scared to ask, but not you. You ask that question. Presentation is finished. Raise your hand. Ask the question. During a presentation, write down a couple of questions. Pick one or two. Ask the question, right? Like, it's incredible how much business you're going to get from doing this. 6. I already said this, but ask when you are one-to-one or talking to people, ask questions about them as much as you can. Don't talk about, like, the danger is, or the valkuil, as we say in the Netherlands, like digging your own grave, is when you talk too much about yourself. No one is like, if you usually people are not too interested if you've not already claimed a significant position in your relevant industry. They will ask questions if they want to know more, but more importantly, at the beginning, keep asking questions and use this is a television trick I learned on TV, but always use the answer of someone for your next question. You don't need to know 10 questions before approaching someone. You need to know one question. You get one answer, and based on the answer, you get the next question. And usually in that answer, there's a certain like amount of keywords that you can use as a follow-up question. So listen carefully, and as someone talks, maybe in the middle of their like answer, they use a word or a certain sentence, and immediately you think, I'm going to ask a question about that. Everything afterwards can whatever, right? But you already know, hey, like, you just now in your answer said this, and then boom, question, right? It makes sure that the conversation doesn't end, which is a television trick, because of course, if you are a host on television, like I was myself, you don't want the table to be quiet and viewers at TV at home to be like, what the fuck am I looking at, right? Cool. Number 7. This is something that I've done a TEDx presentation about. Ask questions based on what, how, and why. When you meet new people, right? Generally, it's not a great idea to ask why. Meaning, if they are in a certain position at a company and you ask, why do you do that, right? It can go too quick, right? You can go too far, too quick, too deep, too quick, right? You've got to build up a conversation instead of just jumping in with the why. So, of course, it starts with, what do you do, right? And then, how did you get there, right? What studies have you done? Like, So the what first, then comes the how, then a mix of what and how, and then eventually, so why do you like to do it, right? Why do you work with these people? Why is Bitcoin price falling? Because people are selling, market absorption, absorption of market longs with limit shorts, Elliott waves. It's just normal price action. We had a bit of news as well, but I don't know what the result of news was, and we still fall. It's just a bit of price action. But ask questions based on what, how, why. So first comes the what, then the how, and then combinations, right? And then comes the why. Don't start with the why. 8 is the same, like speak less, right? The person that speaks least learns the most. 9, don't talk. Don't talk about yourself all the time. 10, only start talking about yourself more when people ask, because then they actually show active interest. 11, this is important as well. Thank people, right? It's quite interesting. People end conversations and then, of course, say, "Oh, bye, have a good day." But I like it. I like to see. It's just a bit of respect, but like thank people, thanking them for a conversation, or thanking them for their answer, or thanking them for their time, or like a small thank you goes a long way. 12. This is what I mentioned all the way at the beginning, but know your target audience, right? What type of people do you want to get in touch with? So go to the events where they are, right? And this is actually 12. So know your target audience, end conversations fast that are with people that are not in your target audience. So that, you always have people going to an event. You are interested in that topic, you're interested in that event, you're interested in a certain type of person. But if you start talking to someone and you realize, oh damn, this person is definitely not someone that's interesting for me, just cut it, right? Find a way to get out. 13, always add speakers on LinkedIn. I already said that. These are the tips. These are 13 networking tips that I always give to students. Besides just add all your co-students on LinkedIn. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe for some of you, it's interesting. Be part of of course, be part of a community is the same as go to an event, right? So if you want to get into a certain job or you want to build a business in a certain industry, you want to get in real estate, go to a real estate group, right? Go to a real estate meetup, go to a real estate Discord community, go into a real estate Facebook group, right? Mingle with people, talk to people, engage with people, write a post, right? Don't be scared. Find YouTube channels about real estate. Comment on those channels. Write an email. It's the same as you know how Jeroen, I don't know if he's in chat here, but you know how he became an employee by asking me. I wasn't sure if I was ready yet, but with the amount of work I had, because I wasn't by myself. But he asked me, and that proactivity will get you very far. So yeah, hopefully someone learns something. Consistency is very important. You could be wrong 95% of your trades, but if you consider achieve 2% by following this approach, it's still an effective strategy. Yes, exactly. Yeah, finally. Yeah, it's the banned word section, I know. It's just to make sure that scammers do not flood the comment section, but cheers, Bearbit. I fully agree. Johan Wolf as well. Men will ask women out on date before they know who the woman is. Don't get it at all. Yeah, first engage in conversation, right? What, how, why. It's more interesting if you like how she looks together to chase you. Looks get people together. Right? So, the eye also wants something. No? Can I add something to the networking thing? Ask questions that are related or involve some connection to a feeling rather than ask for a rare. Yeah, feelings are always interesting answers as well. Yeah. It's always an interesting conversation when you include feeling. The best lesson I learned is that high-level people talk about ideas, mid-level people talk about things, and low-level people talk about people. Yes, that's a nice one. Low-level people talk about people, mid-level people talk about things, high-level people talk about ideas. Yo, I like this one. Wait, I'm gonna screenshot that. I fully agree. Right, especially, look, we're not putting people into boxes here, but if you recognize someone around you that always talks about, oh, the Kardashians have done this and that and this and that, oh, and Taylor Swift this and that, and oh, this happened there and this blah blah blah, and then what the fuck, man? Stop. Don't care. You're so busy with focusing on. That's why they are successful, and usually. Some others aren't in that case. If you're so obsessed with these people, and then things and ideas. Yeah, high-level business people talk about business ideas, or just ideas. Oh, this, that, and then execute. I like it. I'm gonna send that to my wife. I like that. It's very good. I fully agree. Pleasure, Muguez. Here. Yeah, so the networking tips. Yeah. So there you go, Muguez. Colombe d'Or and Saint-Paul de Vence. Okay, I don't know that one yet. I'm gonna write that down as well. Where is it? Column or restaurant. Ooh, very nice. What was that other place? Eden Rock. Okay, there we go. Thanks for the tips, yo. Can you tell me interpretation of the CVD and confluence with the low time frame? At the moment, from a CVD perspective, I do realize we have bullish CVD here, but they're not interesting to me. So the only CVD I'm interested in is what's happening here. And for the bulls, if we count ABC, we want to see market structure change and consistent bullish CVDs, right? And then, of course, hit the 0.618, invalidate a wave 4 for a bearish impulse, and then we can look for price to take out the high. Now, for the bears, you want to see market structure down, continue with more bearish CVDs as price is falling. So at the moment, because price is falling, I also have the time to talk a lot about other stuff, because also from a CVD perspective, and there's nothing yet happening because we haven't yet had any structure locally or a range here. Poker is trading, that's true. True Teller left poker for trading. He was very talented. Yeah, and also Jared Tendler, author of The Mental Game of Trading, is also very experienced in poker as a psychologist. Could you start total 3? Would be something for the altcoin stream, which I will do probably again in the middle of this week, or at least tomorrow or Thursday, because I couldn't do it on Sunday. Will you do? Oh, here you go. I have to check, because tomorrow. Tomorrow, the sister of my wife leaves, and I believe they fly in the afternoon. So I might get a different. Altcoin streams generally are a little bit longer, so I might want to do it on a Thursday instead. But I'll let you know. I'll put it in Discord and on YouTube, and then put the link to vote in there as well. Yes, Dejan, that would be a good one. Absolutely. At what time of the day do you hit the gym? I like the morning, so I actually like to go to the gym after the morning video, to be honest. If the morning video at least is around 9 a.m. If the morning video is more like 10 or 11, then I like to go to the gym before. So generally I like 9, 10 a.m. is always an area I enjoy. It's the moment where people started their job, so the gym is calm. I also really enjoy group lessons, and there's some nice group lessons at that moment in time. There's also some great lessons like in the afternoon, but I generally try to avoid the typical hours for people that have jobs, so because those are the busy times. And I always like to be in the sauna as well for 15 minutes ish after a workout, just to relax as well, because there's so much to do and so much happening. And also with YouTube, like, of course I make videos and you guys see the video, but there's actually, like, in the background, guys, there's so much going on. Sometimes it can be stressful at times. Jeroen is doing an amazing job, though, I gotta say. Very, very, very good. But yeah, there's a lot happening. I got and it's not only YouTube. You also want to have time for, like, reading a book. I like self-development books or studying stuff. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Last week I had 15 different things, and I need to put them into priorities. I finished one here, so that leaves then 14. But yeah, it's not just make a video and gone. Yeah. Yo, what's up, eh? Piotr. Yo, Piotr. That's very, very kind of you. Wait, let me go down. Oh, no. Click on the heart. There we go. Go down. Your first super on a live stream. Ashley, guys, my wife's in chat. It's the Oracle. The Oracle is live. Hi, Dil. Hi, Andre. They're undoubtedly watching as well. Yo, wifey is in the chat. Piotr, thanks for the 50, man. That's very kind of you. Always a pleasure. Glad you enjoy the analysis and are part of the channel, subbing and watching. So appreciate you, man. It's very kind of you. And it's your first super on a live stream as well. So there you go. Thanks, mate. Always a pleasure. Hopefully it's useful. /wave to Mrs. Koens. Exactly. Ashley in the chat. Oracle is here. So we've been live now for how long? We've been live for already 2 hours and 15 minutes. And we have now stabilized around 170 people watching me talk about business stuff and networking stuff and random question stuff. So quick, ask her about up or down. Hey, chat, I mean, she's here. You can ask her up or down. No? Gotta ask Ashley. Let me quickly have a look here. Antibes, yeah, Antibes is nice. Did you check my last PM? No, I was gone for the weekend, so I haven't really checked up on Discord and DMs and everything. So I'll get there, Pi, for sure. In your area, I suggest to get into sailing and do your networking down in the marinas around the yacht scene. Yeah, you do have the yacht club, of course, also in Monaco. I've never really been too much of a boat guy, but of course the network of the yachting industry is interesting. But yeah, it would be an interesting skill. At the moment, it's a little bit difficult time-wise, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. The yacht club and stuff is it's impressive, of course, especially in Monaco. Hendrik, how you doing? Welcome. You will start from the beginning. Good idea. Check minute 17. This, of course, has been resolved. We were here. We already saw this. And then... Oh! Ashley Reynolds, sending our support from a beautiful restaurant in Ez. I told you. I didn't see that message. Told you she was in Ez. Who was... Johan, was it you recommending the... Yes. So Johan said Chèvre d'Or, Hotel du Cap. Yo, she might actually be sitting there. I don't know. Maybe she is. But maybe she just popped in and now Ashley's out again. But thanks for... Actually went past there, but they were... Oh, okay, they were fully booked. Now we are at a beach in Ez and loving it. Okay, there you go. So... yeah, they're enjoying themselves. Here I am in my room. No, I wanted to be here. You know, work continues, guys. Work continues. Content continues. The chart continues. But nice to see wifey pop in. So Ashley Reynolds, everyone. That is my wife since March this year. Hanging out with her sister from South Africa and Andre, entrepreneur himself. Very impressive entrepreneur. Learning many things from him as well. So they are in Ez at the moment. Very, very nice. What has the highest probability? Bullish and bearish scenario since the range 49K. Well, as analyzed, the bullish options are like reducing as like what's the time? Bulls are running out of options. It's literally that. The bullish probabilities on a 4-hour daily time frame are not great. So yeah, they're all on the lower side. So arguably, your bearish scenarios increase in probabilities for price action below 49. Of course, we take it step by step. But in a nutshell, the Elliott Wave Analysis, of course, you can check the analysis, but an impulse, 1, 2, 2 is 7 times longer than 1, low probabilities. Diagonal, expanding, very rare. Multi 1, 2, second to hit the 886, very rare. A very big diagonal where from 49 to 65 is only wave 1, and this is wave 2, is too early. A WXY with a triangle in Y is up there as one of the better probabilities for the bulls, but it's still too early to call a triangle, and a triangle in Y is not common. So yeah, it's not too positive. You definitely want to see more strength. Koens, can you count 5 waves complete from 15K bottom? No. If you look at the range at 30K, that like you can't have that as a wave 4 with of an earlier wave 2. Like I would count this as a 3-wave structure to the upside. Right, so I would then count this WXY or ABC. But counting this as a 5-waver means you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is your 5. It's just from a probabilities perspective, it's not great. Your 5 is incredibly long. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not even sure if wave 3 is the shortest in that case, maybe. If I do this. It's shorter this way, not shorter this way. So it's on the edge of, is it allowed, is it not allowed? But then even if you do count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your 4 is significantly shorter than your 2, while most commonly 4 is longer than 2. So it's not great probabilities. I would prefer counting this as ABC or WXY, double zigzag compared to a finished impulse at the moment. So and if you do move down, right, then counting 4 here at the moment, or looking for a bigger retracement, of course, Y, C. Those are preferable options. Yeah, solves a lot of problems. Yeah, I don't really focus on this price action anymore. Of course, I have the weekly bullish and bearish scenarios, but it's a lot more interesting to see what happens here. And it's actually quite clear. It's actually very clear at the moment with regards to probability. So it's actually the price action now is nice. We've been in that range, of course, like we were here for a very long time. But you can go back to the content, of course, here. But the probability were so much higher to move to 65. In one of the thumbnails, I said imminent. You know. But we got to 65 and now we're back. But it provides more clarity on what's happening here, and helps with the probabilities. On the 50-minute, which scenario we're looking for an impulse down instead of an ABC. On a 50-minute time frame, if you look for a 1, 2, maybe another 1, 2, and then a very big wave 3 to the downside. Second, A, B, and if you look for a wave C to the downside. You also start with wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So in both these cases, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, you want to start with an impulse down on the lower time frame. Okay. It is time for me to wrap it up, everyone. We've been online for webcam is a little bit blocky, I see. Oh well, still a laptop webcam. tell Memory. Let me know if you agree. I'll make sure to check it out later. 10 Oceans. Thanks for tagging me. Wait, did you tag me? Oh, I see. Make sure to tag me as well, so I don't have to search. It makes life a little easier, a little bit quicker. And if you don't, I'll I can try to find it, but I might forget. So a tag, you can always add my tag or just add koenztrading. But everyone, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. The analysis can be seen from minute 17 onwards, including the probabilities. And we also had a section where I shared a lot of networking tips. I got to find where that was. I think it was about an hour ago. So I'll put it in the timestamps. But thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Tomorrow, of course, another live stream. And tonight will be a short update. See if we get any more information here locally about ABC or 123. But it's quite clear what we're looking for, right, locally. With the 618 as well. Look for an ABC here or an impulse. That's it. On the lower time frame here. So, So, have a great day. Have a great evening. Have a great morning. Have a great night. Wherever you live in the world. And I will catch you later again.